So a test for this is asking them their beliefs and then asking them someone else's beliefs and what that means. If they answer correctly, then they achieve theory of mind. The last stage is the formal operational stage, which is 12 through adulthood. One is able to think abstractly, achieve theory of mind, deductive logic, and hypothetical problem situations. They're able to think of solutions to those in their head. A test for this is you come up with a hypothetical problem and ask them to create a solution. And if they answer correctly, they have achieved the formal operational stage. Vygotsky differed from Piaget. He believes social development theory argued that social interaction precedes development. Consciousness and cognition are the end product of the social interaction. Talking about cognitive development, schemas also come up. Schemas are like categories, and kids assimilate, which is like interpret things into those categories. For example, dogs, four-legged animals. A kid will say it's a dog. It might see a cat, say it's 4 legs, and then put it in the same schema as a dog and say it's a dog. But later on, it will accommodate or adjust that schema and realize that the cat is not a dog, but it's a cat, and we'll have 2 separate schemas for dogs and cats. I personally used to think that dogs and cats were the same until I realized that they weren't. Developmental disability is a chronic condition that's due to a mental or physical impairment. It can affect language, mobility, and learning. It can be caused from genetic factors. It can also be affected by environmental components to certain conditions. Vygotsky also believed in zone of proximal development. It was the distance between a student's ability to perform a task with guidance of another and actually doing that task by themselves. That goes scaffolding. Scaffolding is when an instructor demonstrates an exercise or a problem-solving skill to teach students, then the instructor will leave the students to do it themselves, and then they will only help them when necessary, so that the student can overcome the zone of proximal development and be able to do the exercise by themselves. Section 5, language development. Alright, so what you should expect from your child's language development. When they're infants, they'll produce gibberish. They're starting to remember words you say and trying to make them out themselves, but all they can produce is gibberish. As they get older, they'll recall words they don't really understand the meaning. But as they get older, the stuff from that is they will understand the meaning of the words they're saying. 2 points that demonstrate that language is from nature is language is an evolutionary process passed down by a language gene that all humans receive. And then it's also natural that we can communicate to get the things that we need. From the nurture perspective, we're learning new slang language from hearing it from other people. And then we also learn new words by reading them, studying them, etc. Problems that can occur in a child's language development: mild and temporary speech delays, hearing disabilities. Those can set a child back from language development, not being able to understand what others are saying or get what they want to communicate across. That could be a problem. Strategies to help your child develop language: use facial expressions, gestures. Those will help what you're talking about get across easier to a child, because the words you're using they might not understand completely, but facial expressions are more recognizable. offer different ways to communicate, like a tablet or something, so that way you can just mix it up and they will become more developed as you go along. Offer times for them to just talk and tell you how they feel so they can get across what they need to get across and learn how to express their emotions and to say what they need to say. And make sure that you're using complete and understandable sentences and not words that are too big for someone of that age to understand, and not slang that is hard to understand. For me is, when I was younger, my dad used to use really big words that I didn't understand, and it took me a really long time for me to be able to talk to him, especially because I just couldn't keep up with him. Alright, section 6, social and moral development. Other people can affect the development of another because people become like who they are around. And that's just the nurture part of development. They will develop their morals, their likes, their dislikes, stuff like that, especially the parents and their siblings. Strategies: ask your child what they would want to do in certain situations and try to correct them and mold them at a young age what's right and wrong in that situation. Raise them in a good environment. If you know you don't live in the best neighborhood, keep them away from bad role models in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And be a good role model yourself. You want your child to be the best they can be, so make sure that you're showing them and leading them the way to do that. Erik Erikson's stages of development are certain phases of life where there will be basic conflict throughout this stage. Stages are infancy, which is birth to 1 year old. The conflict will be trust versus mistrust. The next is toddlerhood from 1 to 3 years old, and that's autonomy versus shame and doubt. The next one is preschool, which is 36 years old, and the conflict is initiative versus guilt. And the next stage is school age, which is 6 to puberty, and the conflict is industry versus inferiority. And the next stage is adolescence, which is teens and 20s, and the basic conflict is identity versus role confusion. The next stage is young adulthood, which is intimacy versus isolation. The next stage is middle adulthood, which is the conflict is generativity versus stagnation, and the last one is late adulthood, which is 60s to death, is ego integrity versus despair. And the one that I think is the most important is adolescence, because you're figuring out who you are with your identity and your role confusion, and that's just really, I think that's really important. Imprinting is when a species recognizes and finds out what they are or determines what they are. This theory supports attachment to an extent. Imprinting makes it so that the species knows who to follow around and whatnot, and attachment keeps the baby close to its mother. So I guess the two are like in that sort, but humans do not imprint, they just attach, while other species do imprint. An ideal daycare for children would be, educational stimulation. They get to play around their peers, they get to see their parents, because that attachment, they don't like that stranger anxiety. They get to have snacks, food, toys, and all that stuff. When I was younger, I hated going to daycare because it'd always be someone that I wasn't really close with, so I wasn't really attached to them, and my mother would just drop me off and leave me, and then I get kind of pissed off. So that's how that went. The different levels, Kohlberg's levels of moral thinking is just different ways you think once you get to a certain age or a certain stage. first stage is the pre-conventional morality stage, which starts before age 9. They focus on self-interest, obey rules to avoid punishment, or to gain rewards. The second stage is conventional morality, is they uphold laws and rules to gain social approval or maintain social order. And then the post-conventional stage, which is adolescence and beyond, these actions will reflect their belief in basic rights and self-defined ethical principles. Alright, section 7, adolescence. So, adolescence poses a unique challenge to someone because everything's changing. Your body's changing, your hormones are changing, you're trying to discover yourself, and you want independence from your parents, but you know you're not there yet. So things get a little tricky for not only the parents, but the child there. In the James Marcia theory, there are a couple different stages or statuses, if you will, of identity. So the first one is identity diffusion. It's a status in which the adolescent does not have a sense of having choices. And the second status, identity foreclosure, the adolescent is willing to commit to some roles or goals to conform to the expectations of others. Third status, identity moratorium, is it's like a status crisis. They're exploring various roles or identities that they could choose from, or like commitments or goals, but have not yet really committed to any of them. And then the last status, identity achievement. The adolescent has made a commitment to the role or the identity, the person that they want to be. A personal example of this for me is playing football in college. I was in that identity diffusion stage where I thought that I had to with my parents. Then I was in that identity foreclosure phase. I said I wanted to because I wanted to conform to everybody's expectations. And then I was in that third stage. I wanted to play football, but there were some things holding me back that maybe didn't want to play football, and I didn't know which decision I wanted to make yet. And then I feel like I'm in that achievement stage now because I want to play at the next level, and I made that commitment by myself too. A couple times when I had my adolescent egocentrism is on gay rights. I believe that gays should have equal rights and stuff like that, and some people will tell me they don't, and I'll just like not be able to comprehend it all the way. And the time when I've experienced a personal fable, 8th grade was a time for me. I just thought I was too loud. I mean, I still think I'm like loud, but like I thought I was too loud. It was just, I felt like nobody else was like me. I felt like I could do anything and everything. And I also felt like I had that imaginary audience. When I walk into that lunchroom, I feel like everybody had their eyes on me. Really, I mean, some people look at me, but like not everybody. But I feel like everyone was looking at me. So that concludes my parental guidebook. I hope you're happy with it. I hope you found it very useful, got some information out of it, and I wish any parent who puts their child's life in my hands good luck.